Hi, and welcome to whatever this channel's about. So, I saw a cartoon, and usually at this point is where I'll post a graphic of what I just saw. I'm not doing that, and I'll explain why. So, I saw this cartoon, and I did not understand it. It made no sense to me. So, I dwelled on it, thought about it, finally understood it, didn't like it, wasn't funny. Thought about it some more, and figured out why I didn't like it. And that's what I was going to talk about. Now, the actual cartoon was an image of these two cops were at the front door of this lady, telling her basically they were going to take her car because someone a few days ago in another state was a drunk driver and had an accident. That was the punchline. That was the whole comic. And then again, you're probably going, scratching your head, going, no, there had to be more to that because that doesn't make any sense. And that was the same thing with me. It's like, this doesn't make any sense. It was designed to make you feel angry about the situation, not laugh at the situation. But at the same point, it just seemed like nonsense. Until you look at the meta tags, the page it came from, and like all the various hashtags it had, which were hashtag libertarian, hashtag gun control. And then you realize, like, they're trying to say that somehow cars are like guns. And because someone somewhere else used a gun inappropriately, they're taking their guns away. So that was the joke, the commentary it was making, the editorial. And that's also where I got to like, libertarian. That's why I don't like it. So let's rewind a bit. Or not rewind, let's fast forward. So what I didn't like about it was, first off, the whole whistle of they're taking our guns away has been going on for most of all my life, as far as I know, probably longer than that. And guess what? These past 50 years, they haven't taken the guns away. It's just a scare tactic that's used. And even when they had power, they still didn't do it. It's not a thing. They're not doing it. It's not happening. So that was one part of it. Another thing is has the author not heard of product recall? Which is basically if there's a faulty product somewhere that's known for injuring someone, like a make and model of a car, then anyone who's got that make and model of a car, whether that car has caused any issues or not, tends to get a recall to get their car fixed so it wouldn't have those issues. Now, I know in this particular comic it doesn't quite fit the scenario because they do mention a drunk driver, which was weird. But hey, if there's self-driving cars are causing injuries, then this is me extrapolating because we don't know if this could be a self-driving car as well. So if self-driving cars are causing injuries, there's going to be a product recall on people who have that self-driving car who aren't in a situation where they've caused an accident. It's just a thing that happens. It's baked into society. But I think the biggest thing that bugged me about this is, besides the fact that the gun recall is not happening and everything else, it's a straw man. It's basically because, so I said I couldn't find this thing after I like tried searching for it again, but I did do a search for libertarian gun car comparisons, and there's a whole slew of just like stories after stories after stories, like comics and whatnot, in which for some reason libertarians are comparing gun control to car control, which I do not understand. Because I guess they're trying to say, like, if you've got all this freedom with cars, you should have freedom with guns. But I don't understand it because cars are more regulated than guns. Sure, you need a license to have a gun, but you need to have, everyone needs to have a license to drive a car. There's a lot more car licenses out there than gun licenses. The tests to own a car are a lot stricter than to own a gun. And if you change states, then you also have to like redo all the tests normally. At least, okay, so when I went from Jersey to Indiana, I didn't have to redo my driver's test. But when I moved out here to Washington, I did. It's a state-by-state decision. But here's what I was really thinking of is cars are so regulated that you tend to drown out and ignore how regulated they are. if you actually think about it, cars can only be used in certain very narrow locations with very specific rules for how they can be used in those locations, like how fast they can go, which direction they can go, when they need to stop, when they need to go. Cars need insurance. It's just, but we're so accustomed to this that we ignore the fact that there are signs literally everywhere telling us how to use a car. You don't see signs everywhere telling you how to use a gun. It's not a thing. So, anyway, those were my ramblings today. And I mean, if you want to try to find this comic, you can. It's not worth the effort. And I wouldn't even recommend like looking for other similar comics, because that's my viewpoint. If you have some other viewpoint that you think that somehow guns are more regulated than cars, come on, dispute me. Tell me about it. Leave a note in the comments. But that's where I'm at today. Anyway, thanks. Have a good one. Bye.